to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House.
Well, that sounds more like it. Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere.
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Hey! You're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you, so I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same, but when the lightning struck... so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
This area sure feels gloomy. Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation, and this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then...
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally! So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh?
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato.
Is this the Shirazage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds. Given a commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
See, where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about.
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the vision hunted. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different... I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times. And truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's...
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave. True. But that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore. But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back?
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be a...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary.
I'll be as great as we... The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was Black Snakehead, and today I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I went kite flying today. The street as fast as I could. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine. So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, but anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it.
It could be like this all the time.
One day, I'll be as great as
Here we are! This seems to be somewhere that the soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. It looks like a letter. The Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belong. But I have no memory of anything that... Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her. No. Not after all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years had been nothing but a haze. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. The feeling that something... Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for...
Tejima seems to be dealing... okay. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the... They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation! How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions!
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential! Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai!
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's...
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to it. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, My house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any
He seems to be telling the truth, but we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Atsuko, is she still okay?
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoard.
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Another test subject.
You're open! I kill you!
Wheel of life.
Fry!
Oh, there goes all the Mora! We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss, think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use Kurosawa. Oh, huh? So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box...
You've got a deal! Now show us what's in the box!
Huh?
What the...
There's nothing in here but IOU.
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. Or perhaps, there's something you... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, let's get ahead of ourselves. Wait, how did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super...
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the price...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they... So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the...
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell, if you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision, most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What's...
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again, and see if he can remember anything. What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those...
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up... What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed before he passed away and said to me,
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
virtue and somehow those two words seem to explain everything, taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need, and look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision, and the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand me. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous... Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk...
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still learning. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed.
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei, I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own. But then,
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over. And Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely...
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
you haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're...
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his... Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago, and he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the ritual has now begun. All we can do... Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with it! Come on, let's go after them! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Ha! Suspicious person sighted!
How did you... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior? Wait, that...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. Studying Meikyo Shisui, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, free. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his... Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than...
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Make Yoshi. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the long... Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every... After that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down though, I still respected his mastery of the blade, and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard it. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how they...
You're saying he isn't pissed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please. Try.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any... But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim, and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news!
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sense.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Anyway, you should join us too, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei.
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about... Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden Children. Do you think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder, Junior. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came...
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But... then
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent... As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one
Lady, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the sword master is filled with twists and turns. It is no small... It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise up. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he... much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so...
I'm sorry. It's... Father... Sensei.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword.
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather...
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hand, I can't know whether I will... I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually... Goodness.
You see? You can place the ambition you once had. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, you are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you...
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of me. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and... But as your sensei, I shall commit... This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you.
So even though his ambition was taken away...
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has...
So, My intuition was the wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't just...
Ooh, Lady Ai seems to have taken a real interest in... She seems super mysterious. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato. Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really... Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Ooh, wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Think back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are thunder's roar, lightning's flash, the wind's assault, and the rain's descent. But I believe that surely you understand what it seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right... Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori tea house? We ought not to
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes...
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here.
Makes sense. perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. Most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and they invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the vision hunt, after all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown because of this, the attitude of most people towards the vision hunt decree.
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island, due to their different belief system. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance.
Ooh, Paimon has a question!
Oh? What would you like?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and for example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanami. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out—
Yes. We knew it was not— Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future— By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family. There,
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt decree, then you'd believe me. You're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant—
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things Psst! Hey! Wait! Huh? There's someone... Come on! This way! What's going on? Can't you see we need to go help? Shh! Quiet! Just sit tight and watch for a moment. Hey! This isn't right, you know! Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch others and... Huh? Hey, wait! You do have a vision! Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right. Here.
Wise choice. All right.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. This is your fault. You're the one who stepped...
Many thanks, Miss Euthymia. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Oh, so that's what's going on here.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. You just did... Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Euthymia, the current owner...
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Euthymia. She's the queen of the summer festival.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction.
Stop it, Hanjiro. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake visions in the first place. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew, I can't even imagine trying to run the business without it.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. Then it sounds like the Shirsagi Himegimi has a plan. Awesome! But if I just march straight in there by myself, So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure! Welcome to the team! Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area and found a way...
Whoa, talk about a reliable source.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready.
Time to break him out! Now that we're inside, this place is...
Come on, this way! As I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find Master Masakatsu and get out of here. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare...
you sure? Alright then.
Yes, Windblade! Rise. Wheel of life.
I kill you!
I must withdraw.
Keep back!
like Magatama in order to open it.
Show me what you've got! Allow me to strike first! Don't hold back!
Windblade!
Life goes on.
Clear cut!
Help! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
I need to train harder.
Race you!
Who goes there?
Nice and spicy!
I won't forget this.
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength. You're toast!
I must withdraw. Brace
Wheel
yourself.
of life.
Soldiers, quick!
Opening box of Adepti drinks. Wow.
I kill you!
Go.
Out of the frying pan,
Watch yourself. Hold back. You cannot match my bravery. I dare you. Show me what you've got. Boast.
Windblade!
Don't hold back.
Rise.
Allow me to strike first. I dare you! Clear cut! Slash! Watch your step!
I dare you! Clear cut!
Prepare to be blown away!
Don't hold
Windblade!
Train harder.
Faster? Okay, faster. Rise.
A word of I've been bested.
Doesn't that Magatama shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there?
Teach me a lesson. Hey! Show me what you've got! Don't hold back!
Go.
I dare you! Allow me! Just like first!
Windblade!
Show me what you've got!
Sacred name, Fortune Preserver.
Don't hold back!
Frying pan into
Watch your Stella! Just like first! Show me what you've got! Train harder! Brace yourself!
Be gone! Wheel
Watch
of
your
life.
step! Clear cut! I dare you!
Keep back!
A word!
Booba, get them! Oh, rise.
I've been bested.
Nice and spicy!
Windblade!
Must be Master Masaka.
Did you really think that little trick of yours could fool us?
Locking you up was just the...
Oh no! Those Tenryou Commission brutes.
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then...
I can't bear to watch. If anything happens to Master Masaka...
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little lesson, that's all.
Huh? Who's that?
That's Kujo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission. She's also a general in the ship.
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are also unworthy.
Yes, ma'am.
Paimon sure wouldn't want to get on her.
Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching
Euthymia, are you sure now's the right time?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean... Don't worry, I've got us covered. Time for my little present.
Fire!
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like fireworks.
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough.
Fireworks aren't just for festivals, you know. I was particularly proud of this batch.
Euthymia, this...
Well, fireworks are my craft after all.
Look, the coast is clear. Now's our chance.
Euthymia.
Master Masakatsu! Sorry we took so long.
Come on! We've got no time to lose! They could be back any minute! Oh.
Yes, leave. Before I let my judgment get the better of me. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate medical attention. But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him right back.
Well... you can...
Leave this place.
We're finally out of that creepy place.
Yes. Finally, I've made it.
Master Masakatsu, how do you feel?
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirmary without keeling over.
Thank you. All of you.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able to rescue him. Right, Kujasara. Do you think she was making up for how the guards were? It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryou Commission. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
I see. So Kujo Sara stayed her hand. It would appear she still has some honor to her. I wonder if we should try establishing contact with her. Perhaps we could coax out some information.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujo Sara is also carrying out the Vision Hunt decree. She obeys the order. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no threat to the decree. This is why she was so willing to. If our true motives were ever divulged, she would act against us without a second thought.
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu's release is an unexpected blessing. We are now one step closer to victory. And we couldn't have done it without Euthymia. You're turning out to be even more reliable than we
Don't mention it.
Indeed. Things may have turned out very differently this time without the help of the but if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt decree, there is still much to be. It is time we make ready our next set of plans.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken a turn for the better, at least. Not only, yes, which reminds me. The Tenryou Commission seems to be making preparations for a celebration. And the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt decree seems to be waning.
A ceremony, you say? Why would such a task be left to the Tenryou?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryou Commission busy with
You do present a good point. Being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I suggest an evening of hot pots? Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently. I'm sure you'll find it quite amusing.
A hot pot game? What's that?
Simply put, every person prepares an ingredient to add to the hot pot. Once the meal begins, we add all the ingredients together. Then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever finishes the meal with the most... Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try. In fact...
You really do want to play, huh? Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. But... Ooh! Paimon proposes we gather raging demon-level Joyun chilies! This is already shaping up to be...
Oh, my stomach! It feels like Yoimiya's fireworks are going off inside.
Who would have guessed that Toma would be the winner? He ate practically all those weird ingredients.
Salt-crusted herring, unripe lavender melon, flash-boiled dango, oh, and whatever that... hold up. My life is starting to flash before my eyes. Time I call it a night, everyone.
You've only got yourself to blame, Toma. All those strange things you ate were ingredients you added yourself.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes I had? Boiling cakes in hot pot?
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the cakes...
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I feel like a...
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone...
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the
Oh, brother.
Good effort, team. Another important job taken care of. Next on the agenda, some well-earned rest and
Yes. If the Tenryou Commission truly is as busy with preparations as Toma claims, then some rest would be a welcome change of pace. And with the extra time, there are some other matters I wish to attend to.
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After a few days' rest, we'll reconvene at the Komori Tea House and discuss our next operation. Downtime is hard to come by these days, so be sure to make the most of it. I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our ingredients for our next...
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not? We should play again now that everyone...
Bye, Toma! Seems we won't need to be visiting the Komori Tea House for a while. What?